Hey everybody, it's David Pingree. Thanks for watching another edition of Dialed In with the 2018 Yamaha YZ450F. We're out here at Kaweah Creek today, and we've been putting some time on this. Grant Langston did our introduction, so if you want to see what's all new in detail on the 2018 model, go back and watch that video. We're going to focus today on getting you set up if you've got one of these machines, giving you a good base setting and a good direction to make this thing work the best it can for you. So my initial impression on it was that it's a lot more comfortable. Feels a little smaller. The foot peg to seat height is shorter right at the top of the seat here, as well as at the back of the seat by quite a bit. I believe 19 millimeters is what Travis said. So pretty significant change. So anytime you're getting kicked or you're trying to get off the back of the bike, it's not smacking you in the butt, which especially guys with short legs will appreciate that. But even bigger guys tend to cut subframes on race teams and things like that. It's just a nice feel knowing that you can move back and forth on the bike easier. So great change from Yamaha there. The character of the bike feels different. It feels more planted to me for sure. And the engine felt much smoother. In the years past, that bike makes a ton of horsepower, but it almost was a little bit hard to ride. If you got on it, that power right in the middle, it would get away from you easily if the track was slick or if you're getting tired or you hit some bumps. So it was a little tough to deal with. They've really done a good job of smoothing this power, stretching it out. So it still comes on, there's plenty of power down low, but it's just a nice, rideable, usable power all the way through. So we'll get more into that later on map settings. I'll go over kind of the changes I made in the order that I made them. The first thing that we did was make a fork height change. This comes with the forks flush in the triple clamps, and just with what the Yamaha guys were telling me, everybody's been pulling the forks up. And typically what that'll do to the character of the bike is make it steer a little quicker, make it feel a little quicker reacting in the front end, but for whatever reason it's got the opposite effect on this bike. It'll calm the front. So we started with the forks at 3 millimeters up in the clamps, and I was still just getting a little bit of nervous feeling with the front, so we went to 5 millimeters up, and it calmed it down for me. So that was where I ended up with the forks 5 millimeters up in the clamp. As I said, when you get it stock, they're going to be flush with the top line. So that's something to try. As far as sag goes, we went to 105. Yamaha in the past had recommended 100, but on this 18 model, anywhere from 103 to 105. So maybe shoot for that 104 millimeters and start there. I tend to like a little more sag in the back, so I started at 105. Once I got the forks to 5 mils up, I got a nice balance. And to me, and something you'll notice when you get on this bike, it's a lot more plush feeling than it has been in the past. It's almost, I've mentioned this before, when I ride 450s in stock trim, they're typically oversprung. I'm 170 pounds. It feels like they spring them for 185 to 200 pounds. But this feels like it's right. I could go out and race this thing with the same spring rate as it has. So that's something you're going to feel. It feels a little more planted, a little softer, more compliant in the bumps. Once I got the fork height right, no problems getting this thing to turn. The chassis from there was really comfortable. I made one other change. I went a little stiffer, 2 clicks on the compression on the fork. So those will come at 9 out on your compression. I'm into 7 right now. And I didn't touch the rebound. So I was really happy with the fork in that shape right there. And on the back shock, again, I was at 105 on the sag, and I went in a quarter of a turn on my high speed. So that just, the bike felt like it was a little too soft, moving through the stroke too much. This just got it to sit a little higher and ride a little taller and not move so much, and that was a great setup for me. I didn't touch the low-speed compression or the rebound in the back. I think they come pretty squared away, just the way it is stock. And then we got into, from there my suspension was good. I didn't change anything. We got into some mapping stuff. So I'm going to bring Travis Preston in, former 125 Supercross champion. Friend of mine. Good to see you, Trav.
Yeah, good to see you.
Travis is now the Yamaha guy, and he's really squared away on this machine and kind of anything that Yamaha does. And so he was explaining to me the way the map works, the new app you have on a cell phone. You pull that thing out, you sync it up to your bike, and you can change your mapping from your phone, and you have a lot more room to adjust to than you have in the past with the power tuner. So he put in a map that they are just calling the TP map. It's one Travis created, and it's been very, very popular with everyone that's used it. So Travis said that's going to be going hopefully into the app on an update soon, but you can get that from Yamaha if you go to their website now. So Travis, tell us a little bit about just that app how people can go about getting that other map, or kind of the different maps that are in there and what they're good for.
Yeah, so all you have to do to get the map, if you have an Apple phone or an Android phone, you just have to go, to an iTunes store, purchase. You don't have to purchase it; it's free. It comes standard with the bike, so just download it. It's on your phone, and then when you get your bike, underneath the left side panel, pull that off. You're going to have a CCU unit that has a Wi-Fi identifier, and then underneath that, you're going to have the actual Wi-Fi code. So once you connect to the Wi-Fi for the first time and you enter the password, your phone will automatically connect. So it's super easy. If your phone is like in the back of your van, when you ride up with your bike running, your phone will automatically connect to your bike, and then you can make changes. You can richen it, lean it, advance the timing, retard the timing. And the cool thing is, if you don't want to get advanced with making your own maps, the app comes with 3 downloaded maps already in the app, installed in the app. One map is for low RPM torque, and then the other map is for like a smoother power, maybe for a guy that thinks the 450 has a little too much, kind of slows the RPMs down a little bit. It gives the ride a little bit more control. So, and then the map that we created with my coworker Vinny was a map that kind of gave it more low to mid power. So a little bit more explosive down low. If the track's tacky or good dirt, just helps you get out of the corner a little bit quicker.
Yeah, it felt to me when we put that map in, just like a little bit sharper throttle response and a little snappier coming out of the turns. It was kind of what I felt. I just like the way it felt. The response or the connectivity to the rear wheel with it. That's kind of the thing I noticed.
Yeah, it's just amazing to me that I never thought in a million years you could take your cell phone, connect it to your motorcycle, and then change the engine character.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you were showing me too, so the power tuner gave you some adjustment in the past, but this lets you change the positioning and gives you a lot more room to change stuff.
Yeah, for the advanced user, you can change the percentage values of the throttle opening. So say if you only want to affect the from 5% to 25%, you can change those numbers on the side there. And say if you only want to change from 2,000 RPM to 6,000 RPM, you can change the RPMs values down at the bottom as well. So it gives the user a lot more adjustment options.
Yeah. So it's simple. If you're not an electronics buff, there are easy maps you can just plug in. And if you want to get more comfortable with it and really square it away, there's a lot of room to fine tune and make it really cool. So the website is what?
YamahaMotor.com.
Okay, so check that out if you're interested in that, or when you go to your Yamaha dealer, they can get you squared away and I'm sure help you get the app. So thanks. That's a really cool feature. Yamaha is definitely leading the way on that. A couple other things I just wanted to mention before we wrap up. I did notice on the seat, they've gone thinner with the seat. It seems like it's the same foam in terms of density, but because it's thinner, I'm going through and hitting the base. So something I'm going to look at when we start getting into a project build is maybe finding some stiffer seat foam so that I don't do that. That was really the only complaint I had about the bike. The motor is much more rideable than it's been in the past, but still powerful. The spring forks have a great feel. The whole chassis does, in fact. And the new chassis, to me, feels lower and more planted, not as sort of nervous as it's been in the past. And I think you guys did a great job with this. So Yamaha, I'm sure you guys are proud of it. Check this out at your local Yamaha dealer. They're on the floor ready to buy. And plug in some of these dialed in settings. You'll be good to go. Thanks for watching.